You open your eyes to a world of towering ferns and buzzing insects. While your siblings huddle close to mom, nibbling on roots and playing it safe, you're already itching to explore. Congratulations. You've just hatched into a world where everything is trying to kill you. The good news? You're Buck, and danger is your middle name. The bad news? Well, there isn't any, at least not in your book. From your very first breath, you're ready to take on the world. While other newborns are learning to walk, you're already swinging from vines and outsmarting predators. It's just another day in the life of Buck, the undisputed king of the dino underworld. From day one, you're different. Your family watches in disbelief as you wobble towards the edge of the nest. You're scaling vines and poking at glowing mushrooms. Your family's worry grows with each daring escapade. They watch in horror as you dangle precariously from branches, leap between rocks, and get far too close to creatures with teeth bigger than your head. But for you, life isn't about playing it safe. It's about the thrill of discovery, the rush of adrenaline that comes with each close call. You can't explain it, but something deep inside drives you to push boundaries and seek out danger. Maybe it's instinct, a leftover trait from your ancestors who had to be bold to survive in this prehistoric world. Or maybe you're just wired differently, born with an insatiable appetite for adventure. Your early exploits paint a picture of a young mammal determined to test the limits of his world. You chase after giant dragonflies, you poke your nose into carnivorous plants, pulling back just in time as they snap shut. Each new day brings a fresh challenge, and you meet it head-on with a mix of bravery and reckless abandon. As time passes, your family realizes you're not like the others. Where they see danger, you see opportunity. Where they hesitate, you leap without a second thought. It's clear you're not cut out for the quiet life of a herbivore. You're born for something more, something wild and unpredictable. Your stomach growls a stark reminder that wonder won't fill your belly. As you scan the alien landscape for something edible, a nearby plant twitches. Wait, since when do plants move on their own? You're about to learn that in this world you're not always the hunter. Sometimes you're the prey. Welcome to your new home, Buck. It's a place of breathtaking beauty and bone-chilling terror where every shadow might hide your next meal, or something looking to make a meal out of you. Your first steps into this uncharted territory are a crash course in survival. You spot a juicy-looking fruit hanging from a vine. Perfect. It's not a plant at all, but a camouflaged serpent with eyes that gleam with hunger. You barely wriggle free, heart-pounding. Lesson 1. Trust nothing. Shelter proves just as tricky. A cozy-looking cave turns out to be the lair of a creature with more teeth than you can count. You dash out just as jaws snap shut behind you. Even the ground isn't safe. What looks like solid rock sometimes turns out to be the scaly back of a slumbering giant. Your attempts at hunting are equally disastrous. You pounce on what you think is a small lizard, only to find it's the tail of something much, much bigger. It's becoming clear that in this underground world, the food chain is more like a tangled web, and you're dangling precariously in the middle. But with each close call, you're learning. You start to recognize the telltale signs of danger, the slight movement of a camouflaged predator, the too perfect stillness of a trap. Your nose becomes attuned to the sense of poison and decay. You discover which fruits are safe by watching what the local creatures eat. Slowly, but surely, you're developing a unique set of survival skills. Yet, as you grow more confident in your ability to find food and avoid becoming food, you realize there's one skill that towers above all others in importance. In this world of teeth and claws, where everything is either predator or prey, the most crucial ability is knowing when and how to run. In a world where everything wants to eat you, your brain might be your best weapon. But can quick thinking really save you from jaws that could swallow you whole? You're about to find out, and the answer might surprise you. You're munching on a glowing mushroom when you hear it, a low growl that makes your fur stand on end. You freeze, eyes darting around. There, emerging from the shadows, is a creature straight out of your nightmares. It's easily 10 times your size, with razor-sharp claws and teeth that could snap you in half without effort. Your heart races as you lock eyes with the predator. For a moment, time stands still. Then instinct kicks in. You bolt, your tiny legs pumping faster than they ever have before. The monster gives chase, its thunderous footsteps shaking the ground behind you. You weave through the undergrowth, ducking under fallen logs and leaping over bubbling streams. But it's not enough. The predator is gaining on you, its hot breath on your tail. You need to think fast or become dinner. Suddenly, you spot a tangle of vines hanging from a nearby tree. Without hesitation, you leap, grabbing onto the nearest vine. You swing, using your momentum to launch yourself higher and higher. The predator snaps at your heels, missing by inches. But you're not safe yet. The beast starts climbing the tree, its claws digging into the bark. You scramble higher, your small size now an advantage as you navigate the thinner branches. When you reach the top, you find yourself face to face with a cliff wall riddled with small crevices. You don't think twice. You jump, aiming for the nearest crack. Your tiny body squeezes through just as the predator reaches the spot. It roars in frustration, unable to follow. You've done it. You've outsmarted a creature 100 times your size. As you catch your breath in the safety of the crevice, you realize something important. In this world, it's not always the biggest or strongest who survive. It's those who can adapt, think on their feet, and use their environment to their advantage. You might be small, but you're quick, clever, and resourceful. You've mastered the art of escape, but now a daring idea takes root. What if you could outsmart a predator at its own game? Your next move could change everything, but it might also be your last. As you peer out from your hiding spot, you spot a smaller predator in the distance. It's not much bigger than you, but its sharp claws and keen eyes mark it as a seasoned hunter. You feel a surge of determination. No more running. It's time to turn the tables. You creep closer, your mind racing with possibilities. In the modern world, small predators like weasels and stoats use stealth and agility to take down prey larger than themselves. Maybe you can use similar tactics. You spot a patch of glowing mushrooms nearby, and an idea forms. Heart pounding, you dash out into the open. The predator spots you instantly, its eyes gleaming with hunger. It gives chase, just as you hoped. You lead it on a twisting path through the undergrowth, always staying just out of reach. But as you round a corner, you realize your mistake. You've run straight into a dead end, trapped between towering rock walls. The predator slows its approach, savoring its apparent victory. You back up against the wall, mind racing. This is not how you planned things. But then you spot it, a small crevice in the rock just big enough for you to squeeze through. Next to it, a cluster of those glowing mushrooms. As the predator lunges, you dive for the crevice. But instead of escaping, you grab a mushroom and hurl it at your attacker's face. The fragile fungus bursts on impact, releasing a cloud of glowing spores. The predator reels back temporarily, blinded and confused. You seize your chance? Darting out, you circle behind the disoriented creature. With a burst of speed, you give it a sharp nip on the tail. It yelps in surprise and pain, then turns tail and flees, thoroughly rattled by its prey fighting back. As the adrenaline fades, you realize what you've accomplished. You didn't just survive. You outsmarted a predator using your wits and the environment. This changes everything. You're not just prey anymore. You're a force to be reckoned with in this savage world. But as you bask in your victory, a distant roar echoes through the caverns. It's a stark reminder that there are far bigger and more dangerous creatures lurking in the shadows. Your growing confidence is about to face its ultimate test. Are you ready for what comes next, Buck? Remember when you thought outsmarting that small predator was a big deal? Nature's about to serve you a wake-up call of prehistoric proportions. What happens when the hunter becomes the hunted by something that makes T-Rex look cuddly? It starts with a sound, a roar so deep and powerful, it shakes the very ground beneath your feet. Your fur stands on end as the echo reverberates through the caverns. This isn't just any predator. This is Rudy, the undisputed king of the dino underworld. You catch your first glimpse as Rudy emerges from the shadows. He's massive, easily dwarfing any creature you've encountered so far. Razor-sharp teeth gleam in the dim light and scars crisscross his body, testament to countless battles won. This is an apex predator, in its prime, the top of the food chain, in a world where everything is deadly. Your first encounter with Rudy is a blur of terror and pain. You run, you dodge, you use every trick you've learned, but it's not enough. Rudy's faster, stronger, and far more experienced. You barely escape with your life, battered and bleeding, your confidence shattered like the rocks Rudy smashed through to get to you. As you lick your wounds in a hidden crevice, the full impact of what you've faced sinks in. This isn't just about physical survival anymore. The psychological toll is immense. How can you possibly hope to thrive in a world where creatures like Rudy exist? For the first time since you fell into this underground realm, you feel truly small and helpless. But something stirs within you, a fire that refuses to be extinguished. You've come too far, survived too much to give up now. You realize that to beat Rudy, or at least survive him, you need to become more than just a clever escapist. You need to evolve into something this world has never seen before. You start watching Rudy from afar, learning his patterns, his weaknesses. You push yourself harder, honing your reflexes and problem-solving skills. Each close call teaches you something new. Slowly but surely, you're transforming from prey into a force of nature in your own right. The dino underworld is no longer just a place you're trying to survive. It's becoming your kingdom, and you're ready to claim your crown. Rudy may be the current king, but you're about to show him
2 years later.
and everything else down here, what it truly means to be wild. You've come a long way, Buck. From a misfit in your family to the king of the dino underworld. Every challenge you faced, every narrow escape has shaped you into something extraordinary. You're not just surviving anymore. You're thriving in a world that would crush most creatures. Remember when your family worried about your daring spirit? Now that same spirit is your greatest asset. Your quick thinking, your boundless curiosity, and your refusal to back down have turned you into a legend. Even Rudy, the most fearsome predator in this underground realm, knows to watch his step around you. This savage paradise isn't just your home now. It's your playground, your kingdom. Every glowing mushroom, every lava river, every hidden cave is part of your domain, and you wouldn't have it any other way. After all, being different isn't a weakness. It's what makes you the one and only Buck Wild.